I coach people on strength and muscle for a living, but this video isn't about looking jacked. It's about something far more important, your lifespan and your health span. By the end of this video, you'll understand why building muscle early is one of the best decisions you can make for your health, and why waiting is a mistake. I'm going to show you what happens to muscle and bone as you age, what the data shows, and how muscle acts as insurance against aging. Muscle isn't just for movement or show, it's for insulin regulation, metabolic health, movement, and independence as we age. Skeletal muscle is the primary source for glucose regulation, so more muscle equals lower diabetes risk, as well as having more muscle allows you to move more, better ranges of motion, and so you have increased protection from falls and thus broken bones. And low muscle mass is directly correlated with an increase in all-cause mortality, and the inverse is also true. When you have more muscle, you are less likely to die from every single possible cause of death by a significant amount. Muscle loss is inevitable, but with resistance training, you can stave off that muscle mass a lot longer than without it. As you can see from this graph, your muscle mass peaks at about 30, and then without resistance training, there's a steep decline after 40 and 50 until you die. With resistance training, you can keep that level pretty flat before it naturally just starts to decline due to lower androgens, less movement, and potentially less food intake. On top of this, bone density basically follows this exact same graph, as well as with and without resistance training. Your bone density also peaks at about this age and has sharp declines later in life without resistance training. With resistance training, you can keep your bones dense to prevent fracturing, to prevent illness and disease, and anything else related to aging. A 20-year-old starting resistance training will gain muscle very rapidly and maintain that higher level for a lot longer than a 50-year-old who starts lifting and then can still gain muscle, but will slowly gain muscle up to a certain point and then continue preventing decline. It is not too late. It is never too late. The best time to start is when you're 20 years old, but the second best time to start is right now. It is not too late. The reason why a 20-year-old can put on more muscle is because their testosterone is going to be higher. They're going to have more energy. They're more than likely going to be injury-free, and their neurological efficiency is going to adapt a lot faster than a 50-year-old who has lower T, lower energy, higher recovery needs. They're going to need to be recovering longer, sleep more, and there will also be higher potential for injuries the older you get. You may think of muscle for aesthetics or vanity purposes, but I see it as complete resilience, especially when we're talking long term. When you have stressors in your life, injury, illness, surgery, aging, muscle and strength increase your resilience so you have positive outcomes. If you fall, have surgery, come down with illnesses like cancer and other diseases, having more muscle mass is your cheat code to living a longer life, especially with cancer. Muscle is your buffer against aging. It doesn't just help you perform, it helps you survive setbacks. Waiting has a cost. Most people are either unaware that this is happening or they think that they'll do it another time. And your muscle strength and bone density is only decreasing. However, you can reverse this and help yourself and extend your life by decades by just training with proper nutrition, sleep, and a good resistance training program. The longer you wait, the more ground you have to make up. I said this earlier in the video. The best time to have started was years ago, decades possibly. The second best time is right now. This isn't about being jacked. This is about protecting your future self. You don't need to live in the gym and become a bodybuilder. It just means muscle should be treated like a long-term priority, not an afterthought. If you want to approach strength and muscle in a structured and sustainable way, not guesswork, I run a school community where I help guys get started in the gym and start growing muscle. There's a free basics course inside, as well as some higher levels if you want direct feedback and accountability from me. If you care about your future health, the link is below.